Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Friday, and plan today is to play some John Prine tunes. Is everybody familiar with John Prine?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the poet laureate of our generation, and he's the reason that I'm singing you a song today. I grew up, I had an older brother, and he was a singer, and that was kind of the area in our house that he kind of cut out for him. And I kind of picked up the math and the science and the other stuff, but he was a singer. And he was 5 years older than I was, and every time I would try to sing, he would ridicule me. So I never sang, and I took organ lessons. I played in rock and roll bands, but I never sang. And it wasn't until about the time he passed away early, but I was working at a summer camp, and they were playing Janet Muhlenbrook's guitar. She had a guitar people like to play, and they taught me 3 chords to play, and they taught me this song. She was a level-headed dancer on the road to alcohol. I was just a soldier on my way to Montreal. As she pressed her chest against about the time that the box broke, she gave me a peck on the back of the neck. Baby, these were the words she spoke. Blow up your TV, sing along, throw away paper, move to the country, build you a home, plant a little garden, eat a lot of peaches, try and find Jesus on your own. Well, I just sat there thinking I was acting real naive. I knew this topless lady, she had something up her sleeve. Well, she danced around the barroom and she did the hoochie coo. She gave me a peck on the back of the neck, telling me what to do. Blow up your TV, throw away paper, move to the country, home, eat a lot of peaches, do peaches, try and find Jesus on your own. Well, let's see, I was young and hungry and about to leave that place. Help me.
Just as I was
Leaving, she looked me in the face. Said, you know the answer. She said, no, but give it a try. And to this day, we've been living our way, and I'll tell you the reason why. Blew up the TV, threw away paper. We moved to the country, built us home. Had a lot of children, had a lot of beaches. They all found Jesus on their own. So that was the first tune I ever learned on the guitar.
And I had to listen to their worship to start with. I didn't know it heard up.
Yeah, and the interesting thing was that he kind of showed us that.
Okay, all right.
Kind of showed me that you don't have to be a great singer; you just have to have a song that people want to listen to. And he was the one that helped me kind of get over my shyness to do that. I don't know when I'm going to play this song. I'm going to play this song. So that was probably 1971, maybe. And for kind of those were the times that if you weren't in the service, you were against the war, and he was our spokesman for that part too. This was a song that was kind of telling us that he was saying that patriotism isn't enough. What Digest and Reader's Digest in the back of the dirty bookstore, a plastic flag with gum on the back fell out on the floor. Well, I picked it up and ran outside and stuck it on my window shield. If I knew Betsy Ross, I'd tell her how good I feel. But your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. They already overcrowded from your dirty little wall. And Jesus don't like killing no matter what the reason for. And your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. Well, I went to the bank today and the teller said to me, join our Christmas club for free. Give me 10 of them flags free. Well, I didn't mess around a bit and I took him up on what he said. Slapped them stickers all over my car and one on my wife's forehead. But your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. They already overcrowded from your dirty little wall. And Jesus don't like killing no matter what the reason for. And your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. Well, I got my window shield so full of flags I could not see. I ran my car into a curb and right into a tree. By the time they brought the doctor down, I was already dead. I'll never understand the man who standing at the pearly gates said, son, your flag decal won't get you in heaven anymore. They already overcrowded from the dirty little wall. And Jesus don't like killing no matter what the reason for. And your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore. So your flag decal won't get you into heaven anymore.
You always follow those two songs up side by side. You always play them.
Yeah, did you play them?
All play like that.
You know, looking at this week, he has all the themes. He always has Jesus in the song.
Mm-hmm.
He always has something about death, and he has something about another theme in there. But those are all very common things.
This is Richie.
So, and he always has a good story. You want the snare off?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to turn it off.
I can do that. I have that technology.
I know you turned it on, so surely you turned it off.
You just unplug it.
You better write that down.
You need to preach reference.
Well, it's nice that he has the name John, because sometimes he sings about himself, and you get to sing about yourself when you're John. Another one of those thinking about death songs, I guess. Woke up this morning, put on my slippers, went to the kitchen and died, which is a great way to start a song. Oh, what a feeling when my soul went through the ceiling, and on up into heaven I did ride. When I got there and sang, Johnny happened this way, slipped upon the floor and hit your head. All the angels did say just before you passed away. These were the last words that you said. Please don't bury me down in the cold, cold ground. I'd rather have them cut me up and pass me all around. Throw my brain to a hurricane. The blind can have my eyes. The deaf can have both my ears if they don't mind the size. Give my stomach to old Milwaukee if they run out of beer. Put my socks in a cedar box just to get them out of here. Venus de Milo can have my arms. Look out, you got my nose. Set my heart to the drum and give my love to Rose. Please don't bury me down in the cold, cold ground. I'd rather have them cut me up and pass me all around. No brain to a hurricane, the blind can have my eyes. Deaf can have both my ears if they don't mind the size. Oh, give my foot to the footloose, scareless and fancy free. Give my knees to the needy, don't you hang your stuff on me. No, hand me down my walking cane, it's a sin to tell a lie. Send my mouth way down south and kiss my ass goodbye. But please don't bury me down in the cold, cold ground. I'd rather have them cut me up and pass me all around. Throw my brain to a hurricane, the blind can have my eyes. Deaf can have both my ears if they don't mind the size. The deaf can have both my ears if they don't mind the size. So if you've got good enough words, you don't have to be that good a singer. That's what he taught me.
If you heard me, you wouldn't say that.
Yeah, well, you aren't singing the right songs then. And he wrote about everything. He just he said about in this song he was in Europe and Italy, I think.
Oh,
And opened the paper and there was a friend of his. So he thought he'd write her a letter like everybody else. Dear Abby, well, my feet are too long. Dear Abby, my feet are too long. My hair's falling out and my rights are all wrong. My friends, they all tell me I've got no friends at all. Won't you write me a letter? Won't you give me a call? Signed, Bewildered. To which she says, bewildered, you got no complaint. You are what you are, you ain't what you ain't. So listen up, Buster, and listen up good. Stop wishing for bad luck and knocking on. Dear Abby, my fountain pen leaks. My wife hollers at me and the kids are all freaks. Every side I get up on is the wrong side of bed. If it weren't so expensive, I'd wish I were dead. Signed, unhappy, you got no complaint. You are what you are, you ain't what you ain't. So listen up, mister, and listen up good. Stop wishing for bad luck and knocking on. Dear Abby, you won't believe this. but my stomach makes noises whenever I kiss. My girlfriend, she tells me it's all in my head, but my stomach, it tells me to write you instead. Sign, noisemaker, 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 you've got to complain. You are what you are, and you ain't what you ain't. So listen up, Mr. Buster, listen up good. Stop wishing for bad luck and knocking on wood. Dear Abby, dear Abby, dear Abby. Dear Abby, dear Abby, well, I never thought that me and my girlfriend would ever get caught. Just sitting in the back seat and shooting the breeze, her hair up in curlers and her pants to her knees. Sign, just married, just married, just married, you got no complaint. You are what you are, and you ain't what you ain't. So listen up, mister, and listen up good. Stop wishing for bad luck and knocking on wood. Sign, dear Abby. So he wrote these songs, and the words are so perfect.
I've seen John Prine live,
Man,
I'll bet 50 times.
yeah.
I grew up right next to where John, I knew John personally. When I was young.
That explains it.
We used to go see him all the time, in college. He's great. He won a Lifetime Achievement Grammy.
Yeah, he's somebody to look up if you haven't looked up. He was really great, and we saw him kind of late in life, and it was interesting that he played songs exactly the way that he did in 1969, 67. I mean, all of these songs you could add more verses to, you could change things, but he just wrote them right, and he just sang them the same way. So he sings about Jesus, he sings about death, he sings about wives. They're kind of all the same. No, but and who knows? And this is one that's kind of an old honky-tonk feel to it. Well, this is not the one. This is a different one. It was, I come home from work this evening was an open frying pan. Fix your own supper, babe. I ran off with the brush man. And I miss the way she used to yell at me, the way she used to cuss and moan. If I'm getting married again, I'll never leave my wife at home. Well, this is the way she used to yell at me, the way she used to cuss and moan. And I sat down at the table and I cussed and I hollered and cried. I commenced carrying on till I almost lost my mind. And I miss the way she used to yell at me, the way she used to cuss and moan. If I ever go out and marry again, I'll never leave my wife at home. If I ever see another salesman come and walk up to my door, I'll pick up a brick and hit him on the head and knock him down to the floor. 'Cause I miss the way she used to yell at me, the way she used to cuss and moan. If I'm getting married again, I'll never leave my wife at home. This is the way she used to yell at me, the way she used to cuss and moan. If I'm getting married again, I'll never leave my wife at home. John Prine.
Do you know how he wrote? He was a mailman back in the days, and he used to deliver mail to people's houses. Everybody knew him, and he would sing songs like Don and Lydia, Sam Stone. Those were all real people on his melody.
Yeah.
They were all those songs about real people and stuff they were going through. Yeah, he was definitely the voice of neighborhood.
Jeez, that's neat.
No, Maywood, Illinois.
And our mailman doesn't do anything for us.
The old days.
He used to walk up and gather other people and start singing songs about him. People would wait for him. Yeah, people would wait for him on the street.
And his songwriting kind of theory was that you would write. He was a fan of Bob Dylan, and you don't have to tell all the details to get your points across. And then sometimes he paints a mood, and sometimes he tells a story. This is one. I had a friend that we'd be playing music till 3 in the morning, playing banjos and fiddles, and then get kind of quiet, and then start playing tunes. And Billy knew the words to every song. He knew thousands of songs, but it was amazing. He'd start playing John Prine Tunes and he knew all the words. And he'd sung them for 30 years. And we did this one, and I said that was really the best anti-war song that I had ever heard. And he says, what's this about? And he'd been singing it 30 years, right over his head.
He didn't listen to himself.
Well, it's just kind of the story is there. I think the lady is the Statue of Liberty. I don't know. She was born on the 4th of July. I knew a girl, she was almost a lady. She had a way with all men in her life. Every inch of her blossom and beauty. She was born on the 4th of July. She lived in an aluminum house trailer, and she worked in a jukebox saloon. And she spent all the money that I'd give her just to see the old man in the moon. He used to sleep at the foot of Old Glory and awake in that dawn's early light. But much to my surprise, when I opened my eyes, was a victim of the great compromise. Well, we'd go out on Saturday evening to a drive-in on Route 401. It was there I first suspected she was doing what she'd already done. Said, Johnny, won't you buy me some popcorn? And she knew I had to walk pretty far. And when I slipped out through the moonlight, she hopped into a Ford sports car. Well, you know, I could have beat up that fella, but it was her that hopped into his car. Many times I'd fought to protect her, but this time she was going too far. Now some folks will call me a coward, 'cause I left her at the drive-in that night. But I'd rather have names thrown at me than to fight for a thing that ain't right. Used to sleep at the foot of Old Glory and awake in that dawn's early light. But much to my surprise, when I opened my eyes, was a victim of the great compromise. Now she writes all the fellas love letters, saying greetings, come and see me real soon. And they go in line up in that bar, spend the night in that sick woman's room. Sometimes I get awful lonely, and I wish she was my girl instead. But she won't let me live with her, and she makes me live in my head. You sleep at the foot of old glory, and awaking at dawn's early light. But much to my surprise, when I opened my eyes, was the victim of the great compromise. I remember, can't quite do that. I remember Sunday nights we would play pinochle and watch Mission Impossible at my house, and my mother never could follow the story, but she thought, this is a dumb show. Who would ever think the government would sneak around and tell you things that weren't true? I said, well, it's a good thing you're gone. We're kind of running on our time here, but kind of that paint a mood. And he just captures a song that, I guess I'll do this one. So this is a song that ended up with John Garfield's name in John Garfield Blues. And John Garfield was one of those actors who played kind of a tough guy in the 30s and died early at a big funeral in 52. And it was like Rudy Valentino's funeral. Thousands of people came to it. And this is a song that's not really about that, but just kind of that late night kind of. He was originally going to call this one late Sunday night and early Monday morning, but it's the late John Garfield Blues. And he's kind of thinking about it so late at TV that they're actually showing John Garfield movies. So who knows? Blackface is pressed against the glass where the wind had pressed its way. Windblown scarves and top-down collars all share one western trail. Sadness leaks through tear-stained cheeks from liners to dime store Jews, and everybody's singing these late John Garfield blues. This could be my favorite verse in the middle of this one. Midnight fell on Franklin Street where the lamppost light was broke. For the life of me, I could not see, but I heard a brand new joke. I love this joke. It's so simple and so short and such an image. Two men were standing on a bridge. One jumped and screamed, "You lose." Just let the odd man hold him. These late John Garfield blues. Two men were standing on a bridge. One jumped and screamed, "You lose." My daughter was doing as a nurse, and she was doing some traveling. She lives in Montana, and she was in Indiana last 2 weeks. And my family's roots are in Indiana. And my grandfather had a bought a lakefront property, and then right after World War II, a little lake, 60-acre lake, and my dad was there, and my grandpa says, I want you to buy half of this lake and tell my wife that you want me to buy the other half. Because she wouldn't let him buy it, but she would do it for my dad. So they bought this property, and he put up 6 little houses that were just shacks that he had for a rental property. Beautiful lake, and he was a carpenter. So I told my daughter, I said, go to Hart's Lake in Monterey, Indiana, and see where that's where we all gathered as family outings. So she did yesterday. She sent pictures. It's still as pretty as ever. And
Where does she live?
she lives in Montana now. But the only thing that really looked familiar in the pictures were the outhouses. They hadn't changed, and they were still scary. But got me thinking about Grandpa Gibbs. And he was a carpenter, and this is John Prine must have had a carpenter for a grandfather too. He would talk about going to church with his grandfather, and they would sit in the back row because they had hearing aids, and his grandfather would put the hearing aids on and then turn the sound off and go to sleep, and when church was over, it was John's job to wake him up. So Grandpa is to do dinner almost every day. No particular reason, he just dressed that way. Brown necktie and a matching vest and a pair of wingtip shoes. Built a closet on our back porch, put a penny in a burned out fuse. Grandpa was a carpenter, he built houses, stores, and bags. Chain smoke, counts, cigarettes, and he hammered nails and planks. He was level on the level, shaved even every door, and he voted for Eisenhower, 'cause Lincoln won the war. He used to sing me blood on the saddle and rock me on his knee. He let me listen to the radio before we had TV. He'd drive to church on Sunday, he'd take me with him too. Stained glass in every window, hearing it in every pew. 'Cause Grandpa was a carpenter, he built houses, stores, and banks. Chain smoke, camels, cigarettes, and he hammered nails and blanks. He was level on the level, shaved even every door. He voted for Eisenhower, 'cause Lincoln won the war. Now Grandma was a teacher, sweet school, Bowling Green. She traded in her milk and cattle for a singer-song machine. She called her husband Mister, walked real tall in pride, and she used to buy me comic books after Grandpa died. Because Grandpa was a carpenter, he built houses, stores, and banks. Chain smoke, camels, cigarettes, and he hammered nails and planks. He was level on the level, shaved even every door, and voted for Eisenhower, 'cause Lincoln won the war. Said he voted for Eisenhower, Lincoln won the war.
I love the sound of that.
Thank you very much. And Thanks for enjoying those old John Prine tunes. If you don't know him, just YouTube him. There's only about 400 songs that he wrote, and each of them is better than the other one. So it's this time in our program, sing along with me in this song. You take the C-N-R-N-D-S-S-W-I-N-D, and that spells credit swing, and it means paradise. Take the C-N-R-N-D-S-S-W-I-N-D, and that spells credit swing. It's mighty nice and slow, don't cover a lot when you look on the map. But I was studying geography while I was at my retirement nap. Take a C-N-R-N-D-S-S-W-I-N-D, that spells credit swing, and that's home to be, and that spells credit swing, and it means paradise in Gainesville, Georgia, USA.
Thank you all.
Good job,
John.
Thank you, John.
I just got precise tune.
Yeah, it's a neat subject.
Next time we'll get Marcia up there and we'll do In Spite of Ourselves.
Yeah.
We're working on that one. She's as reticent to sing some of those words as Irish Dement was. Irish Dement wouldn't sing them until her mother died.
Well, I saw John Prine and Emmylou Harris. And Emmylou went on stage.